In this video, we are going to look at graphing a straight line. Now, you will have known that the general form for a straight line is y equal mx plus c, where m is the gradient of the line and c is the y-intercept value. Now, here on the board we have a line which is y, the equation of a line which is y equal 4x minus 3. Now minus 3 would be where the line intersects the y-axis, right? And 4 would be the gradient. And note here that 4 is positive, so this line will have a positive gradient. So I have 2 points here on the line which is AB. So since one of my points should be at -3, that's where the line will intersect the y-axis, it means that one of my lines should be here, point. So I'm going to put point A right here at determine where the gradient is. Note that if the gradient is positive, the line would slant in this direction here as I move the mouse. Now, how are we going to get the gradient? Now, from this, you can realize that the gradient as a fraction is 4/1, which means that the run is 1, right? So that means from point 3 going across to 1, that would be the run, and I need to go 4 up to get the gradient of this line, which is from this point, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I need to put point B right here, where x is 1 and y is 1. And that would be the line y equal 4x minus 3. So let's go. See? Yes, that is correct. Let's look at another equation. Y equal 2x. Now note this equation. There is no c value here, but this is interpreted to be that the graph intersects the y-axis at 0. So y is actually 0. So I can move any one of the points and place it at 0 here. So I'm going to move B and place it at 0. Now, I know that this line has a positive slope, and it slopes in this direction. Now, I know that, how am I going to determine the gradient? 2 is the same thing as 2/1, so this gradient as a fraction is 2/1, which means that the run, which is the change in x, is 1. So from this point going to my right, I'm going to move 1 unit. So I move 1 here, and that's where the mouse is. That's 1. I need to go up 2, which is 1, 2, and that's where I need to place A for this line to be y equal 2x plus 0. And that's it. So you note on this line, for any random point that you pick, if I pick this point and you go across 1 and go up 2, it will give you the gradient. For any point on this line, if you pick this point here, where I have the mouse, and you go across 1 and then count 2 up, which is 1, 2, it gives you the gradient, which is the slope of the line. Alright? Let's look at our next graphing, our next equation. Here we have the line y equal -x. Now, because they didn't give us the constant in there, we know that the constant here is 0. So the line intersects the y-axis at 0. So we can place any one of the points at 0. The line y equal minus x there. Alright? Let's look at another case. Now before I move on to another equation, if you go across 1 and go by 1, you will get the gradient here of -1. You get the gradient of the line. Pick this point, you go across 1, go up 1, that's the gradient. Go across 1, go up 1, that's the gradient. And you know that this time the line is slant in the other direction here, from top to bottom. And that means that it has a negative gradient. Alright? Let's look at another one. So, I graphed that one already. Now I have y equal 3x minus 3. Now I know that my y-intercept value is at minus 3. Right? So I place any one of the points at minus 3, which is here. I know that this line is going to have a positive slope, which means that I need to go across 1 and go up 3, which is go across 1 and go up 3, which is 1, 2, 3. So it's right here on the x-axis, where x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0. So that's where I need to place A. And that's it. That's it. Let's look at another one. Now we have -4. So our y-intercept is -4. Let's place point A at -4. Now this line has a negative gradient. Based on how this line is already sloped, it has a negative gradient. But we just need to adjust the gradient for it to be -3. Across for the run, which is 1, and go 3. So from here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So I need to place point B here to draw the line y equal -3x minus 4. That's it. It says you did it. So I'm correct. Right? Let's look at one more. Now this time it says that just bring back this down. So this time the equation of the line is y equal 3x minus 2. Now this line intercepts the y-axis at -2, which is this point here. So any one of the point, put it at -2. Now this line has a positive gradient. Now based on how this line is sloped, it has a negative gradient. So we need a gradient of 3/1, which means that the run going across this direction is 1, and we need to go up 3, which is 1, 2, 3. So that's where we need to place A, right here. So let's do that. That's it. Let's look at one more. Now, this time, the y is equal to minus 4x plus 3. From this equation, the gradient is -4. And the y-intercept value is +3. And note that the y-intercept value is where the graph intersects the y-axis. So one of these points should be at +3 on the y-axis. That's right here, if you're following the mouse step. So I pick any one of these points and I'm going to place it at 3. That's it. So I put point A at 3. Now, the gradient should be negative, right? So I need a negative gradient. Based on how this line is sloped, it has a positive gradient. So I need to adjust the line so that it has a negative gradient, which means that for the run, -4 is the same thing as -4/1. So the run is 1 going across. I need to, from this point here, I'm going to go across 1 to this point. Then I need to go 4 down, which is from here, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to put B right at this point, and B would have the coordinate of 1, -1. So let's do that. And that's it. And that's how you graph any straight line. So sometimes you will be asked to sketch. You will be given an equation and will be asked to sketch the straight line. And that's how you would sketch any straight line. Remember that the constant in the equation tells you where the line or the graph will intersect the y-axis. It is the y-intercept value. The number in front of the x, or the number that multiplies the x, is the gradient of the line. Alright? Thank you for watching, and I hope that this video would have helped you to have a better understanding of a straight line and what it means when the gradient is negative from what it means when the gradient is positive. Alright?